What's up guys, Zaid here, and today I had some people in the comments asking me to show some duels with my LunaLight Tri-Brigade list, and I was playing a little this morning and I got this match against SwordSoul, so I figured I'd show it to you guys and talk about it, and also review it for myself so I could see if there's anywhere I could have played better or that my opponent could have played better. And so, opening hands, he's going first. He's got Vishuddha, Vessel, Ashina, Ecclesia, Ash, and I've got Kit, Fusion Destiny, Yellow Martin, Lancia, Karis. If you watch my deck profile, you might be thinking, why is there a Lancia in there? You didn't play Lancia before. I switched the one Raider's Wing for one Lancia. Reason being that at my locals, my buddy Dave is playing Fluanderies. The deck profile is on my channel if you want to see it. And he 2-0'd the hell out of me. And I was looking at it, and my main deck doesn't have a very prominent board to put up against that deck. So I decided to add one Lancia to the main because when I draw it, like in this scenario going second, it's still a hand trap. It's just an additional going second card. But when I face him in particular, I'll be able to set that off Dagda because the Scythe doesn't do anything against him. So that's why that card's there, and I'm going to get into the play-by-play. So he's going first. He's probably going to lead with Special Vishuddha. Yeah, make Monk, and then activate Vessel. He sends Ashina, grabs Adhara. And then he's going to special Adhara, make the Helki Fibrax, and then special 001. I'm holding the Lancia still at this point because I don't think he's going to use any of these effects until after he does synchro plays with the 001. And so I kind of want to hold it as long as possible so he doesn't know that he's playing around it. Which I think, still looking at it's probably correct. I don't really see anywhere where I should have done it. But then here he's going to use the Mecha Phantom Beast to summon some tokens. I helped him out bringing the Deskbot out. This I did not see coming. I thought he was going to go straight for a Yazi, pop the Yazi with Auroradon, and then summon out Tai Ye or Mo Yi. If he did Tai Ye, I was then, because I don't know the rest of the hand at this point. I didn't know Ashina was here. But if he would have done Tai Ye, I would have then Lancia'd, and his whole play would have been stopped by this Lancia. But he played it in a cool way. He synchros for 4 and summons the Arclight because he can still banish Ashina for a Adhara to go into the Yazi line. But I'm going to drop the Lancia here. I'm like, wait, chill, buddy. Let me read. Because I had to read the Arclight to make sure Lancia could still resolve. This card just says tribute it as cost. It doesn't say it has to go to graveyard. So I'm going to Lancia him. And he doesn't respond to it. He could have negated it with Arclight, which I feel like you do, but he also has it normaled. So he's still got the Ecclesia Mo Yi play, so I guess it's fine to not. Because he's going to have a lot of interruptions. Because he goes Ecclesia into Mo Yi reveal Ashina, special the token. And then Synchro 8 for Chizao. Mo Yi's going to draw, Chizao is going to search. So he's going to have the Blackout, the Chizao, the Ash, and the Arclight as interruptions for my turn. And that's 4 interruptions to my 5 cards. And I draw Foolish Burial. So this hand is pretty nice, to be honest. Like, it doesn't look nice, but you'll see why it's nice. So I pitch the Martin for cost to attempt to special Karis, and he doesn't respond. So the Karis is going to straight trade with Arclight. So basically we banish Yellow Martin and wasted our battle phase to trade with one of the interruptions. And then this puts us in a spot where we have to now play through the Monster Negate, the Ash, and the Blackout. And we know the Monster Negate and the Blackout are there. So in my head, I'm thinking I'll Foolish, dump Kit, dump Nerval, make this live, force the Monster Interruption. But he Ashes the Foolish, which I think was kind of foolish on his part, because this is a known interruption, that's an unknown interruption, and this interruption you want to gain value out of before the Blackout. Maybe he's playing around in a Droplet, but if he would have let me send Kit, send Nerval, search, he'd be able to Chizao negate the Karis when I banish 2, and then I would normal summon what I searched, and he'd be able to Blackout pop those, and then he'd also have the Ash for the Fusion Destiny, and I just wouldn't be able to play. So I think that that's probably the line he should have done, because I've used Karis Effect. So when it comes to Tri-Brigade plays, I'd only have the one additional way to extend, and because I don't have cards in grave, you don't really have to fear LunaLight, because in order for this to be full LunaLight combo, this would have to be Tiger. But this would also have to be a card to discard. Like, I would have to somehow get a card engraved. So maybe this would have to be Foolish Burial Goods Chick, actually. This would have to be Foolish Burial Goods Chick. And even then, you would be able to ash the Foolish Burial Goods instead of the Fusion Destiny. So I think my opponent played his interruptions wrong. But that's the benefit of playing a deck like this that's like quote-unquote rogue. I don't know if it's literally rogue. It's probably like tier 2, but nobody's playing it and people don't interrupt it properly. But yeah, I feel like he definitely played these interruptions wrong. Because here I get to summon the kit. And now he's going to activate the blackout, which in the scenario I'm saying, he would have done this anyways, except he would still have Ash and would have used Cheeseow. Because now he's forced to get rid of the Cheeseow to pop these. And I'm left on my one card, which is Fusion Destiny. But I also, because he didn't let the Foolish resolve, I haven't used Kit yet. So Kit's going to replace itself by sending Nerval. And so now we get the Fractal for follow-up. And we've also got the Fusion Destiny for now. And I'm going to use the Phoenix Enforcer pop to trade with a token. And then on his standby phase, I'm going to trade with another token. He draws Veiler for turn. And the reason I'm trading with 2 tokens in a row here is because he has Adhara, he has Ashina, and he has Vishuddha, all locked and loaded in grave. There's currently not a banish, but he'd be able to add one of the banish off Ashina. And I know that the Ashina is in hand because he revealed it for Moye. This card wasn't there yet, so we know he's got Ashina unknown, and we're kind of just hoping that he's unable to play off of just having this. And getting rid of both of the normals. He now also has no monsters, so he can't use this to destroy itself in another card to be able to play with these cards. And so here, I think I might not have agreed with the play he made here either. He normals the Adhara. He goes into Monk, and then he's going to Ashina for Vishuddha, and I think he just swings on me. So this, and then he's going to add back the Ashina. And so, like, just looking at it, I don't know if this is technically better, but I think there's a line that exists where maybe, he could have normaled the Adhara, use Auroradon to tribute itself to destroy the Adhara. Oh, no, maybe you normal Veiler. Use Auroradon to destroy itself in Veiler. You know that my only card in hand is Fractal. And then you can go Special Ashina, make Monk, Special Adhara, Ashina engrave, summon Vishuddha, and then you can make a level 8 Synchro play there. I don't know what that would get you into because you have to have a way to out this, and I don't think you'd have a way to out this. So maybe, like, this doesn't feel right, but maybe the line I'm thinking of isn't right either. What do you guys think? Because he had Veiler, Ashina, Adhara in hand, and then he had one of each Tenny in grave already. But he's just going to swing with these, and then he's going to use the Auroradon to add back the blackout. The problem I have with this play, though, is that didn't really do anything for him. Because he doesn't set the blackout. Because when DPE comes back on the standby, it'll just pop blackout. He could have specialed Ashina, set blackout, and then had those. But like I said, it's going to force this. I don't know why he didn't just special an Ashina, though, simply to, like, stay alive, to put up some sort of defense. And then if you're going to do that, you could set this too. But, like, I draw Perfume, and this hand is like game if he didn't have the Veiler. So I'm going to normal the Fractal. I technically could have played around Veiler, but I played around Nib. So I'm going to use the Dasher to draw. I was low-key hoping that he would have just had an interruption there, honestly. But he didn't, so it's okay. Because I wanted to just, because I know these other 3 cards in hand. He added this, he revealed this, he added this. I was hoping to get the unknown out quick so that I didn't have to fear anything. But I draw in a Fractal Droplet off Celestial. I'm going to use Fractal, dump Kit, dump Nerval, search another Fractal. And then here, I'm banishing 4. This was to play around Nib. I had a line where I was going to banish 4 for Omen, That would have been my second summon. Turn Fractal and Omen third summon into Baron Blossom. Omen would search Chick, and then I would use the Baron Blossom to pitch Chick and Fractal to special out Nerval. And that would be my fourth summon. I would then Nerval banish to summon Ferajit on my fifth summon. He would have to nib there. I would just chain DPE if he did, and DPE would still be saved in grave. And then if he didn't nib there, I would make the Appaloosa. And then I would still have access to the Chicken Grave with a card in hand and Perfume. So even through the nib, I would have Chick Tiger combo, which should be enough for lethal. I'm not sure though, but I would have been able to at least, on top of having the DPE, also set up the Dagda with a Scythe if I didn't kill him, so I could lock him out of extra. But he had the Veiler here, and the way I'm going to play around that is I'm just going to chain DPE, pop my Fractal, and pop my set. This is going to allow the Fractal to resolve. If I would have been playing around Veiler, I think I would have banished 2 for the Baron play, or the what's his name? You know, the guy that searches Revolt. I would have just summoned that, because here if I had that, I would still be able to extend by pitching 2 to summon out Nerval. And then Nerval effect would be for 4 for the Yeoman, and I think that would be game on board. I'm not sure though. Or I would have banished 3 and then make an access code, and that would have been game. So I could have gamed through Veiler. I didn't think about it. But we're still in a spot that doesn't feel like a loss, because I'm going to hit him for 55. We know that he's got double Ashina Blackout, so like he has to draw a combo, because my Phoenix Enforcer trades with the Ashina. Ashina's once per turn, so the second Ashina is just dead. And then the Blackout would be dead too. So he's got to draw Mo Yi or Tai Ye, but we have Droplet to trade with that. And we're going to gain value when we trade with that, because we get rid of Omen and we get to search Chick, which then on our following turn we'll pitch the Chick with Perfume to search Tiger. Then we just have infinite follow-up from there. So this game, it feels unlosable. I don't know what he could draw here to win. And he draws Emergence, which isn't it. So he's going to special the Ashina, or the Ashina. But here, I'm like, you know what? I actually don't want to pop Ashina. I want to pop Monk. But then he looks at his extra deck and doesn't do anything, which signifies to me he only plays 2 Monk, which I honestly should have read. I feel like that's correct. I think everyone's playing 2 Monk. Maybe it's not correct to only play 2 Monk. I don't know the deck or the extra deck that well right now, but I should infer that he was on 2 based on the fact that majority of players are on 2, so it's just more likely than not that he would be on 2. And see here, he goes to link it, and he's like, oh shit, I don't have one. And then he goes Emergence. He's going to grab Long Yun. He's going to pitch the Ashina to special Long Yun, summon the token. And here I had to think. I don't remember what I did. Let's see. I'm going to Enforcer, pop the token. The reason I was thinking was because I didn't mean to put Omen back, but I'm going to pop the token. The reason I was thinking was because if he did have a Monk there, he could have linked away the Ashina for Monk, Vishuddha, bounce my Omen. And so there was technically a line where I could have let him synchro into Baron, but I didn't want to risk him using Vishuddha first, which he probably would have. So I think I made the right line there. Honestly, I could have played around the Veiler better, and I probably could have played around the Veiler in a way that still respected Nib. But all in all, I still got there, and I think my opponent that turn, my first turn, definitely used his interruptions incorrectly. That's just like a cool takeaway for you guys, though, if you plan on like playing this deck, or if someone you know is playing this deck and you need to play against it, like really think about those interruptions. And if you're just playing SwordSoul, like I feel like don't value your Cheese Out Negate too highly if you have the pop set, because you don't know when you're going to need the pop. And so if you can use Cheese Out instead of a card in hand, that's fine. And also, like, you're playing a deck that if it completely stops me from playing, you should more than likely be able to reduce my life to 0 on the following turn. So don't worry too much like about what resources I have left. Because like in the line I was explaining, I think my opponent should have done, I technically would have gained an additional Tri-Brigade monster in hand. But I ended up ending on it anyways, actually, because he didn't allow my kit to resolve. So like the kit in my hand was live to replace. So he actually didn't give me any extra advantage. He just let me play through his board. So I scratched that part. But this game too, he opens Vessel, Long Yun, Circle, 001 Emergence, and I open Foolish, Serenade, Double Chick, Kit. My hand is not too gas for going second, I'm not going to lie. But his hand is pretty good for going first. He's going to Emergence, grabbing the Mo Yi. Mo Yi reveal Long Yun. You always hate to see that. That's like really strong when they get to reveal the Long Yun, because it kind of puts the threat of Long Yun in my head too. So here he's going to Circle, send Ashina, added Hara. And then Synchro 8 for Chizao, Chainlink 2 Mo Yi. Draws Veiler, searches Blackout. So here he's just going to set 2 pass. So I think he's got 3 interruptions at least, because I was assuming this was like an imperm. But it's not. So he's got Chizao, Blackout, Veiler to stop Kit, Chick, and I draw a Droplet. So I think this hand, there's a good chance I could have played this improperly. If you guys have any ideas on how I could have played it better, let me know. But seeing the Veiler kind of makes me feel like my play I'm content in. So I'm going to Foolish. And there is a case to chain Droplet here to stop the Chizao, but I don't. I send Kit, send Nerval, search Karis. And then there's a big misplay I think that I'll talk about when it gets here. I'm going to Karis, pitch Chick. Karis effect for 2. He's going to chain Chizao here. And I'm going to chain Droplet to that. Then he chains Circle, which isn't going to help him make his Chizao resolve. So I think this was like really stupid, to be honest. I do not know why you would do this when you like still have Blackout. Wouldn't you just chain that? I don't know how that works. If you guys know, if I black out my Chizao, can I chain Circle, tribute my Chizao, and this still resolve? I'm not sure how that works based on this wording. Target a worm you control and 2 cards your opponent controls, destroy them. So let me know if you know how that's ruled. But either way, I feel like he just turned his own blackout off for nothing. And so he's going to search the Mo Yi, though. And I'm going to summon the Bearbrum. This is where I think I misplayed. I did not play around Veiler here at all. I pitched Kit and Serenade. I should have, like... So I'm going to pitch off Serenade regardless. Like, Serenade, I need to discard a card for it to be live. So I should have pitched Serenade Chick, so that if he had the Veiler, I could still normal Kit. And he does have the Veiler. So if I here was able to normal Kit, I would be able to summon the Kit, use its effect, banishing 3 maybe? And went for the guy that spins from grave, I think would be most likely my play. Because I don't think I could hit for lethal given the current board state. But I could have made, I forget its name. It's Doom Eagle. I could have made Desperate Doom Eagle, spun the Ashina, and then linked the Bearbrum and the Kit into Anaconda, and then summon DPE, and then hit for 24, 25, 5, and then cleared the back row with DPE, popping the Anaconda to play around Super Poly. And then this Ashina wouldn't be in grave, and he'd be on this, which there's still a good chance I would just like lose, because that's not the best board to have versus his hand. But I could have done more than I did. I instead have to use the Serenade Dance, which also maybe I could have went Summon Chick. Oh, yeah, that's a play too, because I haven't normaled yet. I could have summoned Chick, use its effect to dump Yellow Martin. Yellow Martin bounce Chick, and then activate Serenade Dance, pitching the Chick to special a Chick. Chick dump the second Yellow Martin, and then from there, I would have 3 different monsters to work with instead of 2. I don't exactly know where that would get me. I could make the guy that sets tanky and searched Tiger. Yeah, oh my god, I had way more plays than this. Because I would have searched Tiger. I would have had, one of these would still be engraved, correct? Yeah, so then Tiger would bring back that. Well, that's not way more plays because I would have already used Yellow Martin. So, but I would have access to Tiger, and then I'd be able to make the DPE. Yeah, that's not like too cracked actually. There's definitely lines I could have taken that I didn't take, and I just made a worse play, but I don't think my better plays would have put me in a winning position, but they'd put me in a position where my opponent could play poorly. And even in this like bad line I made, there's still like a case to where I should have bounced Chick with Martin and then made the Anaconda just so I have an additional card in hand. Because if I draw a monster, it's going to be an extender off Dasher. So then I would still need something to normal summon to get the maximum value out of my turn. So it might have been nice to just have the Chick. So here I'll just make my DPE play. Not a lot, but like I said, there's a lot to learn just from watching this. Like I had other lines I could have made. And then we'll hit for 5, hit for 25, and then we're going to use Anaconda to pop the back row. And then I pop my Anaconda also, because the reason we do that is to play around Super Poly. I don't think that people are playing Super Poly, nor would they side it in this matchup, but I don't want to get punished, and it's not hurting me to do so. And it's also technically playing around Bell and Crow, so like we're playing around a lot. We're not playing into really anything, so we'll take those, you know? And then he's going to use the Mo Yi, reveal Long Yun, summon the token. I'll just pop the token here. I don't know what else is best to do. And he's going to use Long Yun effect. First misplay, like I have no board, summon this in attack. Summons the token. And now because he has a non-effect monster, he's going to use Circle to add a Tenyi from deck to hand. Adds Vishuda. And here he's going to use Ashina. Ashina is going to summon Vishuda and attack. And this is where I think the biggest like misplay comes in. First he'll let Hara add back Mo Yi. But he synchros 8. Like, you know I have no cards, so here you're trying to find a line to go for game. There's a chance he doesn't play either of the level 10 Sword Souls, but if he did, instead of synchroing into this, you would leave the Mo Yi out. You would synchro with the token and the 6 into the 10, and then you'd burn me for 12, and the 10 has 3k attack. So that's 42 just off that, and then the 17 and 15 would close the game out. So he let me live another turn he didn't need to let me live. And just, he has insane value though. Like, the odds of me winning the game are still low, but they're not 0 because he didn't kill me. Whereas he could have just killed me. And then I'm going to draw for turn. I get Nerval. I'm going to special Nerval off Dasher, and he's going to use Lancia. So I'm going to bring back the DPE. I'm going to enter battle, which maybe already wasn't correct. I don't know. No, it's probably correct. I have to force this cheese out. So I attack it. He's going to cheese out to negate my DPE, and I chain DPE, pop Nerval. And then Nerval effect is going to search Fractal. And then I attack the Vishuda. He takes a K. And I can't banish. I think instead of searching Fractal, I should have searched Kit. And then I could have set Kit so that when I need to pump with Phoenix Enforcer, I could pop Kit, Kit dump Nerval, then search the Fractal. But then I would still have DPE on board, which would make my opponent have a harder time killing me. But we know that they have access to Mo Yi and Emergence, so there's no way I play through this. Like here, he Mo Yis, he summons. I shouldn't have popped here, but I just like did. This was like honestly really stupid because he just attacks me for game, but there's not really much reason to like prolong it because worst case, like he just goes into Baron, burns me for 12, and then activates Baron to pop DPE. I chain DPE, he chains Baron negate. So then my DPE will go to grave, and then he'll just enter battle phase and kill me there. Like he knows all my cards, so there's a lot of lines for him that just kill me. but not like any line for me where I stay alive unless he plays like a fool. Like, he'd have to play so bad that I don't think it's possible for me to live. But we're going to go game 3. My deck excels going first, and you haven't got to see it going first yet. I'm going to open Nerval, Talents, Scythe, Fractal, Yellow Martin. And he opens Adhara, Gamma, Adhara, Ash, Ecclesia. And so drawing the Scythe honestly makes my combo very simple. Like, worst case scenario, like, you just need 2 monsters. You just need DPE. And because of the talents, we're going to be able to hit the droplet if it's there, which we see it's not. But I'm going to Fractal effect, and he's going to shotgun the Ash Blossom. And so, one sec. There we go. I'm going to use Talent, look at the hand, and we're going to rip the Gamma. Because, like, he's not going to combo with Adhara, Ecclesia through DPE Scythe. And here he doesn't shuffle. And that's important because he's going to draw the Gamma now. And he didn't tell me that. Like, in this duel, like, he's just going to draw the Gamma and play as if he drew it. Like, maybe he wanted to and didn't intentionally shuffle. But I'm going to chalk it up to an accident. But I'm still, now that I know Gamma's in the deck, I'm going to make my Scythe play around it. So we're going to normal summon the Nerval. Also, the reason that I opted, by the way, to go into Talents was because I have a DPE Scythe line, and I don't need it to play around droplets if I can look at their hand, because, like, then they have to draw the droplet, and I think I'm okay with that. But I also get complete hand knowledge, and I get to rip whatever, like, droplet or, in this case, other hand trap they would have, and still make the line. And so it felt right, whereas drawing 2, I might not even draw additional combo pieces, and I would rather, like, take the guaranteed resolution of Scythe unless they top deck droplet than not, you know, then have to risk it, and then maybe the Gamma just beats me. So that's why we opted to make this simplified line and just rip from his hand. But we're going to normal the Nerval and make Almirage. Nerval's going to search Karis. And then I'm going to pitch the Martin to special the Karis. And here, I'm not even going to opt to use Karis, because if I use him right, I can't link with the Almirage. So I'd have to link with Karis and what I summon, which would make the summon kind of like redundant, because all it would do is let me keep the Almirage on field. But I think I value the Grave resources more than I value the card on field. The Almirage on field. So I'm going to link an Anaconda here. Anaconda, pay the life. And he's probably, like, thinking there's no way he hard drew Scythe. He's just like, oh. But if I didn't draw the Scythe, I probably would have opted to draw 2 instead of rip the hand, because this would be pretty lackluster if this wasn't a combo piece or something. And so we have the DP, we have the Scythe. We're going to set it. I'm going to end phase, DPE, pop that. I know his hand, so I know I'm not getting hit by Gamma or anything. Yet I'm still playing around like the Super Poly. Draw phase, standby phase, this comes back. He reveals the Gamma, but then he says misclick. Like, you could have just told me that you think you shouldn't have had that. But, I don't know, maybe he thought it could stop the standby phase effect. And I don't know. Like, maybe it was a misclick, and he's just like, damn it, I drew Gamma. But here he's going to special the Ecclesia. And I could have chained DPE here. And then he would chain this, summon the Mo Yi. This would pop. And this would pop Scythe. But then that would put him on no monsters when Scythe would try to activate. And I want to play around Gamma. Even though, like, I shouldn't know he has Gamma, I still, after having seen it, want to respect the card's existence and not play into it if I don't have to. So we're going to let him summon. We're going to see him summon a Moye. Moye is going to reveal Adhara, and he's going to get a token. And so here I was thinking, because he had it normaled, but say he did normal Moye, and I knew the rest of the hand was Adhara, like if it would have just been Moye instead of Ecclesia, I don't even think I would pop the Scythe. I think I would just use Enforcer, pop itself in the token because I knew he wouldn't be playing anyways, and it would save me a Scythe lock for the next turn. But because I know that he hasn't normaled yet and I know he's got the Adhara, if I were to not pop, if I were to leave Mo Yi, he would have the full Helk line. So I'm going to use DPE, pop the Scythe, pop the token, summon Scythe effect, and he just scoops. But real quick, before it ended, I drew my card for turn, and I drew what I would have drawn off Dashers, or off Celestial. So Dasher would have specialed the Fractal, and then I would have used these to draw this. And I just want to make sure you guys see that I still had game, because I would have just normaled Fractal, banished 4 for Omen, banished the Monk, then switch this to attack and beat down. That's the beauty of like when the DPE Scythe resolves in this deck, is that when you do the full combo, there's no question that you have lethal the next turn. But even here, right, all we needed to draw was 1 Tri-Brigade, and we can for sure put lethal damage on board. Like, it's kind of insane. Duels don't really go past turn 3 when you go first. You go first, they go second, they get Scythe locked. The next turn, you just reduce them to 0. And so, if you were one of the guys on the deck profile that asked to see more of this deck in action, then thank you for having interest in this deck. I really like it. Like, I think my build is the build. Like, this deck is insane. And you could maybe make changes to, like, the side deck and to the main deck. Like, you could play, instead of talents and droplets, you could play stuff like hand traps. But for the most part, I think my main deck, like, engine-wise, is the perfect ratios on almost everything. And if you guys haven't seen the deck profile, check it out. I'll have a card pointed to it. I'll have it in the end, or in the description. And that's about it for me, guys. Thank you for watching.